Welcome to our class. So we're going to start, find a nice comfortable seat. You can, I have a blanket, you can sit on a blanket, or if you have a pillow or a cushion. And we'll just take some nice deep centering breaths. So find your spine nice and tall, your shoulders in line with your hips, and rest your hands. You can close your eyes. Notice any sounds that are around you. Sounds outside or inside of your house or your room. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And notice the comfortable seat that you're sitting on. Notice that connection to the blanket or the pillow or just the mat. And then gradually turn your attention inward. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Do that one more time. Let your body find stillness in this pose, connecting with the breath. Notice that your mind starts to soften. Stay here for 5 more breaths. We'll gently open our eyes. Let the legs come straight. Make a little movement, just bounce them around. Bounce up and down or move the feet side to side. And then we'll recross the legs in the opposite way. And inhale and reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, take a twist over to the right. Keeping that spine nice and tall. And then inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale over to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, just let the arms relax again on the knees. And then bring the right palm out to the right side. Inhale the left arm up and take a side bend over to the right. Really stretching that left arm so you feel the side of the body. And then inhale, come through center, and we'll take that with the right arm up, stretching the right side of the body. And then coming back to center, resting the hands on the knees. Inhale, lifting the chin towards the ceiling. Exhaling the chin down to the chest. Feel that stretch in the back of the neck. Inhale to center, and then exhale and look over the right shoulder. If you've been sitting at your computer, try to get some kinks out of the neck. Inhale through center and exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Let the chin rest one more time on the chest, and then bring the chin over to the right, over to the left, and like a pendulum motion, just moving side to side. And go ahead and take full circles with your neck if you'd like, moving in one direction. And then moving in the opposite direction. And then we'll come back to center and find our table pose. You can remove your blanket or cushion. And just take a look and make sure that your wrists are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Inhale and let the belly drop and the gaze come forward. So really feel that spine coming down. And then exhale, looking towards the knees and stretching the spine. So like a cat back. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. And let's do that 2 more times. And you can make this really slow and juicy. Just really feel the movement of the spine, noticing maybe the lower back or the shoulders here. And then coming back to our neutral spine, bringing the right foot back. And we'll just do a little bit of stretching for the calf. So press the heel back down. Notice the stretch in the calf muscle. And then turn the toenails towards the floor and move forward. So stretching the front of the foot. And go ahead and do that a couple more times. This is an area that we don't really stretch too often. And then we'll bring that right knee back in, and we'll do that on the left side. So coming onto the toes, pressing the left heel down, and then bringing the toenails down to the mat, stretching the front of the foot. And bringing that left knee back in, moving the hips side to side, and then taking some circles with the hips. So maybe making this a really big movement and gradually making these circles smaller and smaller. until you're back to your table. And then we'll do those circles on the other side. So just moving in the opposite direction, making this circle smaller and smaller, and then finding your back to your table. And then we'll come into our low lunge pose. So stepping the right foot forward. And here we want to have that knee over the ankle on the right side. So you can move that left leg back. And when you're ready, bringing the hands up to the thigh, shifting the hips back a little bit. And then allow the body to come forward. And if you'd like, raising the arms up. So a lot of hip work here. Bring the hands back down, and let's bring the hands back to the mat and just straighten that right leg. So feeling that in the hamstring. And then we'll just move that right knee back under, come back to table, and then we'll move the left foot forward and set it up one more time. Bringing the hands up, shifting the hips back slightly. Maybe moving a little bit forward, just noticing how this feels, especially on your hip flexor, the front of that right leg. And then bring the arms up. Take a breath. We'll bring the hands down to the mat, and we'll straighten that left leg and feel that stretch in the back of that left leg, the hamstring. And then walking that right knee back, coming back to table, and then finding downward dog. So coming into your downward dog, pedaling your feet, maybe moving your hips side to side. And then take a moment here and just come onto your toes. Shift your hips back and then let your heels come towards the mat. And notice the difference in this downward dog after making just that simple adjustment. Maybe your head feels like it's closer to your thumbs. Maybe you feel like your hips are a little bit higher. And keeping your knees bent, especially if your hamstrings feel very tight. And then we'll slowly walk our hands and feet together. I'm going to turn this way. Keeping the knees bent and coming into a forward fold, grabbing your opposite elbows and just letting the torso hang down. And then release the arms, walk the hands up the legs. So we're slowly rising. And let your hands come to your heart. And then release the arms by your side. Just find mountain pose. Feel all of the energy that's running through your body. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Notice any sensations. Notice your breath. And then open your eyes if they were closed. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead. And exhale and fold forward. On an inhale, bring your hands to the shins and then come back down in a forward fold. Slowly rise, bring your arms out to the side and then overhead, bring your hands to heart center. We'll do that sun breath 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Slowly rise and bring the hands to the heart. And one more time. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise back up and let the hands come to the heart. Bring your hands to your hips and let your right knee come out to an angle, and we'll prepare for tree pose. So any placement of your foot that makes sense. So if you want to put your foot on your calf or leave your toes on the floor, keeping your hands on your hips if you'd like, or bringing your arms up and finding tree pose. Take a breath here. And then slowly release. And then we'll take that tree pose on the other side so that left knee comes out to an angle. Really press that right foot into the mat so you're engaging that right leg. And then bring that foot to the calf or the toes to the floor, finding tree. And then we'll release it back down and just make a little movement, shake it out a little bit. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands to our hips and step the left foot back and come into warrior one. So the left foot is pointing towards 10 o'clock if I was in a clock face. I'm bending into that right knee, and my hips are towards the front. Remember to let the navel come back towards the spine. And then when you're ready, bringing the arms up. Let the fingers really reach and feel strong here in your warrior pose. Got that back leg supporting. Breathing deeply through the nose. And then let your arms come in back and clasp the fingers together. Press your knuckles down. Notice the stretch in the collarbones. Inhale, exhale, and slowly come forward and find humble warrior. So we're bowing down. Your hands can lift if you'd like. If you want to feel a bigger stretch in the shoulders, or you can let your hands rest lower. And then we'll release the hands and slowly come back up to a warrior one. Let the hands come to the hips and step forward. Take a breath here. And we'll take that on the other side. So I'm going to move to this side of the mat. And we'll step the right foot back. Right foot, think about that around 2 o'clock, setting it up and determining for you what makes sense in terms of your uh, length of your legs or how wide your legs are apart. And then when you're feeling stable and balanced, just bringing the arms up. Feeling the strength in both legs. Taking 2 more deep breaths. And then inhale and reach the fingertips high, and exhale, bring the hands around the back. We'll prepare for humble warrior. Inhale, exhale, and fold forward. And again, the hands, clasped hands, can stay down or you can bring them up, stretching the shoulders. Take 1 more breath. Release out, bring the arms up. And then we'll step forward, finding mountain pose. Take a breath here. And then bringing the feet about hip width apart, sitting back as if you were going to sit into a chair, raising the arms up and finding chair pose. So sitting down as far as you can, as far as you feel comfortable. Noticing the tops of the thighs here as we take 1 more breath. And then bring the hands to the hips and step your right foot back for warrior 2. I'm going to turn around. So warrior 2, my right foot is going to be parallel with the back of the mat, left foot forward, left knee tracking those middle toes. Just be careful, you don't want your knee to go in or to go out. We want to protect the knee here. Arms are out, fingers stretching in opposite directions, gazing over that left middle finger. Take 1 more breath. Inhale and reverse warrior. Left arm comes up. Exhale, come back to warrior 2. And then rest that left arm on the thigh. Raise the right arm overhead and find side angle pose. Come back to warrior 2. Bring the hands to the hips, straighten the front leg. We're now at the side of the mat in a wide-legged position. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale and fold forward. Adjust your feet so it feels comfortable as you fold forward. You might want to bend into one knee, straighten the other leg, and then move to the other side. That might feel like a nice stretch, especially for the inner thighs. And then find your forward fold, come onto your fingertips. And then inhale, come up halfway, look forward, and exhale and fold. And then slowly rise. Arms come up overhead. And then let your hands rest on your hips. And we'll bring our feet back together as we find our chair pose one more time. So sitting back into the chair, bringing the arms up, maybe sinking a little bit deeper this time. Take one more breath. Hands come to hips, left foot steps back, warrior two. Feeling stable and balanced. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale and reverse warrior. Right arm comes up. Exhale and find your side angle pose. And then come back to warrior two. Bring the hands to the hips. Feet are parallel once again. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale and fold forward. And again, adjusting your feet as you need to so you can comfortably fold forward. You can bend one knee and then the other. And then we're going to bring our feet closer together. And resting your hands either on your thighs or maybe on your hips or on even on the floor, we're going to come down into a squat pose. So this may be your squat pose. You may be right here. You may be able to come down further and your hands can rest down here. You may be up here. So wherever your squat pose is, I'm going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And then resting your hands down onto the mat, we're going to slowly make our way into a seated position. So my feet are, my legs are straight ahead. I'm sitting nice and tall. My feet are flexed. I'm going to inhale and reach high, stretching my fingers. Exhale and fold forward. Just let your hands rest where they may, so wherever they fall. You'll notice a stretch in the hamstrings, in the sacrum, the lower back. You might be able to grab a hold of your feet. You might be resting your hands on your shins. Slowly rise. And then from here, we're going to leave the left leg straight and take the right foot and bring it on the outside of the left thigh. Take the left arm around the right knee and let the spine be nice and tall. Inhale, reach the right arm up, and exhale, twist over to the right. Release back to center. Release that right foot and bring it on the inside of the left thigh. So you might have to move that left leg out a little bit. And then we'll turn the torso towards the left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale and fold forward. And then walk your hands up that leg, both legs straight. Maybe just move them a little bit. And then we'll take the left foot and bring it on the outside of the right thigh. Grab a hold of that knee. Inhale, bring the left arm up, and then exhale and twist over to the left. Spine still nice and tall. And then we'll release back and bring that left foot on the inside of the right leg. Adjust that right leg as you need to. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms overhead, and exhale and fold over that right leg. And then come all the way up. And then bringing both feet onto the mat, slowly come down. So your knees are pointed towards the ceiling. Feet are hip width distance apart. Arms resting by your side. And then press into the feet. Inhale and bring the hips up for bridge pose. So you're pressing into your feet, lifting your hips, taking another breath here. And then slowly coming down. And bring the feet out to the edge of the mat and let the knees come together. And then bringing the feet back, hip width apart. Let the knees come into the chest and let your legs come up to legs up the wall. So this is such a nice pose, very relaxing, great to do before bed. It's a really lovely inversion. You can feel all of the energy coming down, all the fluids, blood, letting go and relaxing here. And then bend into the knees and let the knees be wide and find happy baby pose. If you want to rock side to side, you can do that. Maybe rock side to side for a couple of times. And then let your knees come back into your chest. Take a nice squeeze and let your knees fall over to the right. Gaze can come towards the left. Arms can come out to a T and find a relaxing spinal twist. Bring the knees back into the chest. Rock a little bit. Make circles if you'd like with the knees. And then let them fall in the opposite direction. And find your spinal twist on the left side. Bring the knees back into the chest. Let your legs be long. Take a full body stretch. Bring the arms overhead. Inhale as you stretch the fingers and toes in opposite directions. Exhale, sigh it out. And then allow your body to completely relax. Feeling the support of the mat. Letting the hips and the shoulders relax. Feel them be heavy on the mat. Find this time of rest. Absorbing all of the effects of your practice. You'll hear the sound of the singing bowl, and it's time to move from Shavasana.
Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Making any movements. And when you're ready, come into a seated posture. Joining me with our hands to heart center. Letting your eyes close. Thank you for joining me in our practice. Namaste.